is up? What is up? Special late night casual podcast with your boy Brian, the casual Brian, keeping it casual because that's what we do. So today I could not get up. I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I had the worst night of sleep and I went to get up. I tried. I said, okay, let me do this. I got up at 9. I said, maybe I can, do it. No, I didn't have time. It's in, I had to make a value judgment, and I thought that the most value that I would get would be to do my morning routine, which is meditation, prayer, reading my Bible, and I didn't do my yoga. I didn't even do my yoga. I was feeling so terrible this morning. So anyway, before I get into my morning, let's start with this. Thank you so much for stopping by. And if you're watching from Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, or Twitter, please be sure to subscribe. I go live normally in the morning, Monday through Friday, and then I post the podcast later that night for those who don't have time to watch. Um, Today was not that day, but maybe who knows? Maybe this will be good. If there's a lot of people that come by for the stream, then maybe we'll make this a regular thing, regular. But yeah, thank you so much. And if you're listening on the podcast, thank you so much. And wherever you're listening at, wherever you're watching at, please be sure to subscribe. Super excited. A lot of things to get into today. Super excited. So the first thing is I've been talking with a lot of people that are interested in getting on the podcast. And hey, let me tell you something. If you're watching this and you're listening to this and you got something to talk about, if you got nothing to talk about, I would love to have you on the podcast because I think that at the very least, people enjoy conversation, people benefit from conversation, and conversation is how we grow. I do have the interview with Carrie. I just have to make an edit to something. And once I make that edit, I will be able to put that out. And that reminds me, I'm going to reach out to my friend Ryan Knack. Knock. It's knock. Why do I say knack? It's knock, like knock it out music. Jeez. But yeah, so I'm very excited. So again, if you are interested in being on the podcast, reach out. Wherever you see it, reach out. I am down to have people in the podcast. This is not a Brian knows all, Brian says all, Brian does all. I am just doing what I can do. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? I feel like people don't realize that Dave Chappelle says it all along. And I also feel like it's some kind of a reference to something. I want to say Earnest. That might be above like, so, oh my God. Let me tell you something. Last month, it was before Christmas. I was here on some random YouTubing, like hard on some random YouTubing. And I found it was essentially a documentary, but it was made by one person. That's why I love YouTube, because YouTube is basically TV or production done by regular people. You know what I mean? You and me. And then, as they get bigger, they get a team. This guy probably had a team. I don't know, man. It was so well done, but it was basically debating why the second iteration of the Ninja Turtles was the best one. I cannot recommend this enough to you. It was so well. I watched 2 of them. I think there's 3. I watched 2 of them, and each of them was like 40 minutes. It was so I was like, oh, okay. I want to see what his opinion is. He just breaks down why it's better, and then like how in its own self it got worse. Blown away. One of my favorite things. I say that to say that Ernest might not. A lot of people watching this might not know who Earnest is because that's a little bit older. I watched Earnest as a child. Ernest Scared Stupid. Ernest Saves Christmas. I think he was a physical comedy, physical comedian, I should say. He was not comedy itself engulfed. But so anyway, I am changing up my diet. And part of changing up my diet means that from Tuesday to Thursday, not a sip will enter these lips. And so normally that can cause me to, be a little restless at the beginning of sleep. But your boy wanted to take it up another notch, and he tried this new bourbon tea that my thoughtful wife got for me. But it turned out it wasn't bourbon tea. It was black tea that was in a bourbon barrel. It was cool. It was nice. I enjoyed it. It was a good vibe at the end of the night. Here's where the problem comes in. It was caffeinated. If you know your boy, I do not do caffeine. Can't do it. I've done it all my life. Can't do it now. Gives me like heart palpitations and so on and so forth. So I'm laying in bed and I'm like, man, I'm kind of itsy. I'm kind of antsy. What's going on? And I'm like, yeah, it was the tea. It's always the tea. It's always the tea in the bedroom with the mug. So anyway, I had possibly one of the worst nights of sleep in my life. And so I woke up just feeling terrible. I needed to get up at 8 o'clock to get everything done for the day. I did not do that. Now, tomorrow, I am not going to do that. I'm saying that. So here's something else too. I've had a good week so far, working out, hitting, executing, eating pretty clean. And so I thought to myself, yeah, you know what, man, I don't have to do all that stuff I said I was going to do. It's fine, like whatever. And then I said, no, you said you're going to do this for 2 weeks. And it's just like my post. Every time you say you're going to do something and you don't do it, you're establishing something inside you. Your brain is saying, Brian is not really about that life. And that's the worst thing you can do. That's the worst thing, to have your inner voice be like, Brian ain't really about it. Brian's not really, he doesn't really care. He's not going to really get it done. He's not going to really stay consistent. So I'm going to stay consistent. And it's tough. It's tough. I got to eat clean, morning, lunch. It's a little bit looser. And I even gave myself a little room to have like tastier foods. I'm avoiding carbs though. I'm avoiding carbs. I have to. I'm trying to, at least. Last night I had a Beyond Burger. So anyway, all that to say, um, it was tough. Tomorrow I will not miss. I am getting up at 8 a.m. no matter what. I know some people who go to work at like 8. They're like, what are you talking about, 8 a.m.? That's nothing, Brian. Jeez, how can you not get? It's something for me. I don't get up at 8 a.m. I used to. I'm trying to get back there. Really, I would love to get up at 7 a.m. The only problem with 7 a.m. is that means that I'm like passing out 10:30, 11 at the absolute latest, and I'm not really ready for that. I'm coming up on 40. I'm not ready for the 11 p.m. cutoff, That's a lot of change at one time. I got to ease into this thing. I still like 12 o'clock. 12 to 8, that's 8 hours, I mean, so 12 to 7, that's 7. I'm not really here for that. So anyway, I'm going to get up. I'm going to get up at 8. I got tonight, tomorrow. I'm going to go my tough time. And then I have, a pretty chill week. I can have a relatively whatever dinner. Don't want to go crazy. Don't want to go Taco Bell. Don't want to get a double Whopper or whatever. But I can, loosen up. Friday evening, Saturday is my cheat day, and then Sunday we are back on it. Now, even though Saturday is my cheat day, I'm going to look for a salad for lunch, because yes, I'm giving myself space for something different, but I'm going to be looking for a salad, a tasty salad, probably a buffalo chicken salad if I can find it anywhere. But I'm looking for a salad nonetheless. Another thing I'm looking for, this is real. This is so real. Greens, man, you have got to get greens in your body. It's just so important. I feel so much better when I have greens, like when I'm constantly eating greens. And then, like, again, I know people are like, Brian, what are you talking about? Duh. And I'm telling you, it's not duh. It's really unfortunate how so many people don't eat right. They don't, you know what I mean? When I got to college, my first roommate was like, this guy, he was telling everybody, this guy does not drink water. And I was like, what are you talking about? I drink water all the time. Now, for me, all the time was like, if I go to a restaurant, I'm going to get water. I might have a glass of water if I'm working out. If I'm playing basketball, I'll have water then. I'll prefer Gatorade. Now I drink water all the time. See, if you don't believe me, watch. I don't go anywhere without water. It's a must. Your body needs this. Your body needs it, and we're not giving it to them. Let me tell you something. Kool-Aid is not water. Okay? Whatever those mixer things you take to restaurants, that's not water. That's not water. It defeats the purpose. The sugar defeats the purpose. Stop it. Stop it. You can drink that if you want to, but don't tell me you drink your water for the day. I will rebuke you. I will rebuke you to your face. I will tell you, no, sir, no, ma'am, that is not water. Stop it. Some people out there, I'm not gonna say any names. Some people out there tend to believe that water, when you add those packets, is still water. It's not. It's not, man. It's like barbecue sauce, the equivalent of barbecue sauce. just destroys all the benefits to anything you're eating, which is kind of the trouble with being vegan, right? Because yeah, cutting out meat is definitely better. There are definitely benefits to it, but if you like eat super grody, like if your vegan diet consists of Burger King and KFC, probably not going to be the best for you, buddy. Hate to break it to you. All right, gotta get some greens in there. Gotta get some vegetables, which I don't like. Let me not front. Another thing that's happening this week is I am struggling in jujitsu. I don't know what's going on, man. I don't know what's going on. I do know what's going on. It's my second week back. I took 2 weeks off, and I'm just my body's getting used to that thing. And it's also winter. I'm also always kind of on guard from COVID. Omicron is like the worst one. I feel like these variants get worse and worse because it's basically like the first one was like pretty clear. You knew what it was. Okay, that you got COVID. The second one, Delta, even though that's not really the second one, people forget that. The second one or the third one, let's just say Delta, that one was like more. It included more symptoms. It was more like a cold. And you're just like, well, I don't know. It sounds like I feel like I don't have COVID, but who knows? God. Now, but with this one now, it's just like everything. Everything means that you have COVID. And I'm just like, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I haven't watched Biden's speech yet. I've seen some clips. One thing that he railed on is that Republicans are not really for anything. And that, to be fair, that's not true. They're for some things, but only when they're in power. That's the better way to say it. When Republicans are in power, then they have things that they want to do. When they're not in power, they're not doing anything. In fact, they are doing something. They're going to keep you from doing anything. And that's straight up and down the truth. Okay? Now, if I'm being honest, I can't say for sure if the Democrats are the same exact way. I know even if they are the same way, they're not as blatant as Republicans. Republicans just come out straight up and say, I'm going to spend the next 2 years making sure Joe Biden doesn't get anything accomplished. That's awful. That's awful. I don't understand how we let that be a thing. And when I say that be a thing, I mean, look, I get it. You want your politician to go and represent you the way you think. But is there no sense of like, we live in a country that has mixed perspectives, views, and if they only do things when you agree with them, then we don't get anything done, which is what's currently happening. Sometimes it needs to be what you want. Sometimes it should be what I want. Sometimes it might be what neither of us wants. That's compromise. That's government. That's community. It's just, it's just our whole political system has just become one big American Idol, and all the people on the side, all the pundits on the side, it's just like, it's a joke, man. I would never take a gig as a political pundit. Look, I'm putting myself out there. I know it's like 15 years from now, someone's gonna get me on CNN and it's gonna be like, Brian, is this you? I would never want to be a pundit. I am 38 now. Who knows what I'm gonna see when I'm like 45, 50? Maybe I'll change my mind. But 38-year-old Brian, so this is gonna kind of save me. But they're gonna clip it up so that you won't hear this part. 38-year-old Brian would never want to be a news pundit because you're trapped. All you can do is talk bad about the other side and give hot takes. Ben Shapiro, hot takes. Joe Rogan. And oh my God, this is, people don't understand. The pandemic was so heartbreaking. You know what I mean? I think everybody can relate to this. Everybody lost at least one friend during the pandemic. You know what I mean? And because it's a traumatic experience. And so we respond dynamically. It's just like, it's not simple. It's not like a simple, like small fight. We are responding to trauma. And so everyone lost a friend. And I love Joe Rogan. Okay. I love this show. I don't know about Joe Rogan personally. I don't know Joe Rogan personally, but I love the show. I thought it was a good example of how to have good conversation. He had a diverse group of people coming on, But now I got to be honest, he says crazy stuff. He says crazy stuff, and he's kind of embraced this role. It's funny, man. There's a quote. It says, absolute power corrupts absolutely. It's going to his head. He says he doesn't read. He's reading his headlines. He's embracing it. He's loving it, and it sucks, man. It's the exact same as Donald Trump. I don't think Donald Trump was that guy before the Republicans pushed him up and they realized, oh, this guy can win for us. I wonder what the Democratic version of Donald Trump is. I don't know, man. I don't know. It just makes me sad to see. I wish Joe Rogan would return to his more centered, neutral roots, but he's far right. He's far right now. You know, um, and I wish somebody who I'm starting to enjoy more, not the biggest fan, but Andrew Schultz. I wish that he would check him, call him out, man, call him out, and don't let him just bogart you. I mean, I'm not saying that he does, but he doesn't really get in his face. Someone needs to get into his face. That's the thing about friendships. Maybe his other friends have been getting in his face. I haven't seen Shab on there for a minute, but I know Shab was like Team Rogan. Haven't seen Callan. I know Callan doesn't agree. Tom, it's like some of these people try to like casually push back, but then it's just like, and I'm not saying that like they should not rock with Joe. That's their friend. I don't think friendships should just end over disagreements, because God willing, we're all going to come through this pandemic and we still want to have our relationships, but someone needs to like check him. And I don't know if I'm the guy to do it. I would love to talk with him, because a lot of stuff he says doesn't make sense. And you just like, if you just stop and you slowly think through what you're actually saying, you realize it doesn't make sense. Like, here's one thing that I heard. The vaccines are leaking and causing unvaccinated people to end up in the hospital. I feel like that one doesn't even require thought. To use thought on that is a waste of brain cells. Just say it out loud. The vaccines are leaking, and because of that, which this is not true. This is not true at all. The vaccines are leaking, and because of that, the unvaccinated end up in the hospital because they're unvaccinated. And so the only thing that's going to protect them is their own natural immunity, which may be good enough, may not be good enough. As we like to say in the South, they're out there just Rick Rossing it. I think that so much of this really just comes down to two things: selfishness and a lack of. And I'm not putting one side to being the only side being selfish. Everyone's kind of being selfish. Everyone's like, my way is the right way. And that was me. That was my approach. Full transparency in 2020. My way is the right way. Now I'm like, okay, it's like a marriage. It can never be my way is the right way, because you're a team. So you could be my way right, but you're by yourself, and that sucks. No one wants that. Not if you're really on a team. We're shooting holes in each other's boat, but we're in the same boat. That's the thing that I don't think we realize. We're in the same boat. We're pushing each other out to the farther extremes. And I think a lot of us are trying to hope that there's a way back. I don't know if there's a way back. I feel like we're getting to the point where it's like, for example, what Donald Trump did with the election claims, he completely reframed how we look at elections. So coming up right now, there is no way there's not going to be a major conflict over the elections. And this is why. If the Republicans win, Democrats will say it's because they did a lot to change the laws and make it harder to vote. If Democrats win, then we know what the Republicans are going to say. They cheated. And it doesn't matter if they have any proof or not. They're just going to say they cheated. So then how do we win? How do we act like adults like we used to? And we say, oh, well, you know what? I ran hard. I did a good race, but I lost. And Lord, I hope that never gets into sports, because then we're doomed. So that's my stream for tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. And again, if you are interested in being on the podcast, hit me up. I'm definitely down to have it. I'm going to have some new people coming up. And again, another thing, the podcast will be available starting this Monday. So if you follow me on Instagram, I don't know how you would be seeing this. Oh, no, because you might follow me also. check me out on Instagram. It's going to be in the IG live or whatever, IG video, which is, it used to be the old IG TV, and it's now just IG video. So there'll be a series starting next Monday. So be sure to check that out. And if you are just coming in late and you missed the podcast, the stream, the podcast will be up, and I would say about 20 minutes. Have a good night, and I will see you tomorrow.